What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're all having a good holiday season out there. Christmas is right around the corner. I hope you guys are being safe. Have a good time out there. Get lots of presents. So I want to start off today. I did a video a while back about, it was the top 10 crazy stories from being an X-ray tech. So I made that video a little over a month ago. I'll put a link in the description for it. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. But the more astute of you out there will realize that of my top 10, I actually only did 9 stories. And I did 9 because I wrote myself some notes, and then I was going through it, and then by the time I was finished, I realized I hadn't done all of them. So rather than go back and re-edit, I'd already uploaded it, so it was actually my top 9 X-ray stories. So I didn't want anybody out there to feel like you've been cheated. So today I'm going to tell you the 10th X-ray story, or the first, I guess, I don't know. But this is the missing X-ray story. How about that? And it starts out with me telling you that this isn't my story, first of all, because if it was my story, it definitely would have been number 1. This is a story that somebody told me who's been a tech longer than I have, but it's freaking hilarious. But I wanted to just tell you guys what it is. And incidentally, it's just starting out here. If you guys are grossed out, you might want to go ahead and click off because it kind of goes there a little bit. So fair warning. And I'm going to tell the story from the first person perspective, even though it's not my story. I'm not going to say he said. I'm just going to say me. Okay. So again, not my story. If you're out there watching, I'm not going to tell your name, but if you're out there watching, yes, this is your story, and I'm just telling it like my own. Okay. So here we go. So I'm on duty. I'm on watch, and comes to there's an X-ray in the ER for an ankle. Apparently, this guy busted his ankle really bad playing football or something. He's from one of the ships, and he was playing football, and he cracked his ankle really bad. This is the actual X-ray right here, so you can see it's actually. He asked me if it was broken or just dislocated, and you can see it's actually both broken and dislocated. He broke one bone and dislocated the other. So this guy's in a lot of pain. He's pretty jacked up. So they call me into the ER, say, hey, we need to do this X-ray portably. Can you bring the machine over? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I get to the door and to the ER where the patient is, and I just hear screaming. It's like, no, please, no. And I'm like, whoa, shit, I'm thinking they're giving him a shot or something, obviously he's in a lot of pain, but, just this hysterical screaming that I'm hearing, So I'm like, oh, man, what's going on? So I'm figuring, okay, I better get in there as quickly as possible. And before I can open the door, one of the docs opens the door and says, okay, wait a second. Just hold the X-ray for a second. I'm like, all right, sure. So he goes back inside. I guess he's trying to calm the patient down, and he's like, and the patient's just screaming like, get that fucking thing away from me. Get it away from me. No. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck is, what are they trying to do? I'm thinking maybe it's like a Foley catheter or something, something that a guy would definitely is not, excited about getting. So I'm like, what the hell is going on in there? So the doc comes out again. He says, hey, can you explain to him how the X-ray works? I'm like, yeah, but I mean, what's the issue? What's wrong? He's like, oh, he's really, really nervous about getting an X-ray. I'm like, really? That's what he's scared about? It's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, well, sure, yeah, I'll go in there. So I go in there. He's a young kid. I leave the machine outside. I go in there. He's a young guy, probably 25, and I go in there and he's like, hey, are you about to take my X-ray? I'm like, well, yeah. He's like, no, I can't get an X-ray. I cannot get an X-ray. I'm like, okay, well, can you tell me why? Is there a problem? And I'm thinking, because what most guys are worried about is they're worried about radiation, and they're not going to have kids. Like, your progeny is so important that it has to be preserved and cannot, risk potential damage by an X-ray, So I don't know. Some people are really, really skittish about that. So, but I understand, not everybody understands how X-rays work. And, if you're watching this and you don't understand how X-rays work, a chest X-ray is, or a chest X-ray, which is, obviously a very thick, dense piece of anatomy, takes a very, very small amount of radiation to get a quality radiograph. So an ankle is less than half of that. So very, very little risk of getting any permanent damage from a couple of x-rays of your ankle. And plus, we can shield, your genitals, so it's not really a problem. But I'm trying to explain that to this guy, and he says, no x-rays. I'm like, and I'm trying not to laugh because the guy is hysterical. I mean, the guy's like mid-20s, and I'm like, okay, dude, well, just explain. Okay. Look, the machine's outside. It's not coming in. Can you just explain to me why you don't want an x-ray? I just don't. Well, that's not really a reason, man. I mean, your ankle is doing this. It's like dangling there, man. Don't you want to get an x-ray so you can get that shit fixed? And he's like, look, man, I just can't, okay? I can't right now. Well, when? When are you... your ankle is fucking broken, dog. When do you think would be a good time to get an x-ray of it so we can get that shit fixed? So, I mean, we're going back and forth to this for a good 3-4 minutes, and I'm starting to lose patience, So, I finally okay, listen. Is it something that you can explain to me? I mean, listen, man, I'm not a complete dick, and finally, after, going back and forth, he finally explains to me, okay, doc, look, I have a magic cross. What the hell is a magic cross? I don't know what that is. Can you explain it to me? What the hell is a magic cross? He's like, it's a piercing. Okay, what's that got to do with you getting an x-ray? He's like, well, that machine has a magnet on it, and if it comes near me, it's going to pull it out. I'm like, okay, the x-ray machine does not have a magnet. You're thinking of MRI. MRI is a big magnet, okay? Not this. This is something different. There's no magnets. There's no danger of your magic cross, okay? I don't know what a magic cross is, but if it's a piercing, if it's metal and you can't remove it, and as long as it's not near your ankle, you'll be fine. And he's like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm sure. And I'm like, so we go in, we shoot the x-ray, the guy's ankle's all jacked up, and I'm like, okay, dude, you got to tell me what a magic cross is. And he's like, ugh. I'm like, you brought it up, man. You just tell me what it is. What is it? So he says, okay, it's easier if I show you. I'm like, all right. And he goes to undo his pants. And I'm like, okay. He goes to undo his shorts, pulls his shorts down, whips out his dick. And I'm just looking like, there are no words to describe this. And I'm looking at this. Look, I can't even describe what it is. It's a piercing, but let me show you a diagram. I don't want to show you an actual picture of a dick, but let me show you a diagram of what it looks like. This is what it looks like. This is what this guy had pierced on his member. And I'm like, I'm just looking at this. I'm like, okay, you can put it away. I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? And he's like, chicks dig it. I'm like, they do? Well, I thought they would, but it turns out they're actually kind of scared of it. Like, yeah. I mean, God. Did that hurt? And he said, yeah, it hurt a little like a bitch. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I think he got it recently, too, because it looked kind of purpley and kind of swollen a little bit. Like, oh, God. So, yeah, that, but I explained to him, like, yeah, well, in the future, so you don't have to disclose your magic cross, unless you're getting an MRI, then you're pretty safe. But if you're getting an MRI, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm on your side. I'm on your side. I don't know if that is going to affect your magic cross, but I wouldn't want to take the chance either. Thanks for watching the podcast, you guys. Like, share, and subscribe to BJBL Unleashed on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram while you're at it, and I will see you next time for more Unleashed.